Hi there. So you can see that this car took a very long time to crank and then fired up. We've got an engine light and an EPC light on the dash and a stop-start fault showing in the centre of the dash. The fault code we have stored is P034300, camshaft position sensor circuit high input, and we've got a static fault. So the first thing I did on this was I just pulled up the wiring diagram for the crankshaft sensor, and I was just going to check my feed earth and my signal because it's only a 3-wire sensor. Looking at the picture there, the wire furthest on the right is the green and brown wire, and that should have been an earth, and I didn't have an earth, so straight away I knew I had a wiring issue. So I followed the wiring from the camshaft sensor, and according to the wiring diagram it goes straight up to the engine ECU without any connector blocks or any breaks. So you can see here I'm just showing you where the wiring goes, and then there's the control unit. And to get to the control unit you have to take the wipers off and take the scuttle trim off, and it sits behind it. And then as you come in here you can clearly see I found the fault straight away without having to do any more work. A furry little friend has got inside there and was chewing up the wire into the engine ECU. So this video has basically gone from a diagnostic tutorial to a wiring repair tutorial, which I hope you will find interesting and useful, and it will probably help you out later on. So all I'm doing here is I'm just taking the protective cover off of the connector plug to the engine control unit. Just clips out and slides out. And then this pink connector here, this is actually a security retainer that goes through and holds all the terminals in place. They are also held in with an individual clip for each connector, but that is just a backup to stop the wires pulling out as well in case the tabs become loose or don't work anymore. So straight away you can see there that the green and brown wire that I was talking about earlier, which is the earth for the camshaft sensor, that's been chewed straight through. So all I'm doing here is our furry little friend had actually eaten quite a bit of the wire, so there wasn't enough to join that and have enough slack on the wire still. So I'm actually going to replace the terminal and wire on this particular one. Now, being a Volkswagen, pretty much every single terminal that is available for the vehicle is available as a replacement with the correct thickness wire. So if you go to your dealer, they'll be able to look up the connector plug for you and tell you the options that you've got available, because you can have gold plated terminals, silver plated terminals, just normal plain terminals, whatever your preference, and some of them have grommets built into them, so you can get replacement wires for all of your cars. Unfortunately, all the wires are yellow. You won't ever be able to buy coloured wires direct from Volkswagen, but it shouldn't really matter, you're only repairing a few wires. So what I'm doing here, I'm preparing the wires to use a crimp connector. And you can see it's quite straightforward. We just strip the end of the wire, put a crimp connector over the end, crimp it down, do the same the other end, and then we crimp again. Now, years ago when I first started, we did used to solder wires to carry out repairs, but it's kind of frowned upon now. The main reason is, well, there's a few reasons, but the main reasons are, like for instance, my soldering could be absolutely top notch, but someone else's could be pretty poor, and if you get a poor solder joint it can cause high resistance, and where a lot of these are actually signal wires as well, it will change the reading and can cause more problems than you're actually fixing. So that's one reason. With these crimp connectors, when you heat them up, they release glue inside, or a sealant, which seals the connector plug, and it stops water and moisture getting inside the connector and damaging the wires. So that's why we prefer crimp connectors nowadays. And you also get a more uniform universal repair. So if anyone used that crimp connector, you would get the same quality repair across the board. So once you've crimped both sides of your connector, you can see there I just gave it a little tug just to make sure that the wires are in there okay. And with these wires, again, you could just wrap a bit of tape around there, but it's not going to be airtight or watertight. So I'm just cutting the wire where the rodent, I wish I actually knew what had been in there. I'm assuming it was a mouse, where he just chewed the insulation of the wire. All I did was cut straight through and then just put a crimp terminal on there so we can make sure the joint is secure and watertight. So again with this wire, he's only gone through the insulation a small amount, but you can see there I've already got 3 crimp connectors in almost the same position, plus an original crimp that comes from the loom as standard. So what you want to try and do, you don't want all your crimp connectors in the same place, because the loom will end up being twice the size it was when you started with, so you want to stagger your joints. And obviously, because I've had a rodent eat the wires, I don't have a choice where to do my joins. So on this particular one, I'm going to take the wire out, replace it, so I can do the joint slightly further up. So all I'm doing there is matching the new wire to the length of the original wire, and then crimping the end. So what I'm trying to show there is where I've used the crimp connector and it's flattened the crimp connector, you want to try and get it, crimp it in the same position on both sides at the same angle. So you don't want to crimp one and then have it turned around 90 degrees and then crimp the other way, because when you crimp it you're putting force on the crimp that you've already done and you're trying to open it up. So if you crimp them both in the same direction at the same angle, so it's basically flat across, you don't put any stress or tension on the crimp that you've already done. So we put our securing connector back in, and that just holds all the pins in place. And then what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put a little bit of tape at the start, wrap it round, just so I can get the angle of the wiring right and hold it in place. And then we're just going to clip the cover back on. And just cable tie it in place for a bit of extra security. So like I said earlier, the beauty of these crimp connectors is they've got like a hot glue or adhesive inside, that as you heat them up it melts, and then the heat shrink on the outside expands, and you can see that it looks almost like a glue comes out and it completely seals the joint and makes it watertight. I'm just using a bog standard hot air gun here to heat them up and heat shrink them. I see people do this with lighters and blow torches, and it's the wrong sort of heat. You need a constant flow of hot air going over so you don't get any hot spots. If you use a cigarette lighter or a blowtorch, you're going to burn the wires, and it's really easy to melt the outer casing of the crimp connector and just expose the joint that you've already made. So for the sake of about 15 quid for a hot air gun, I would always recommend using a hot air gun. So although the original sheathing's already been chewed through, quite a lot of that is still intact, and I'm leaving it on there. I'm not going to cut it off. I'm going to use it to give me the shape of the loom. So when I take this up, I've got a slight bend in it because that's how it was to start with. Because of the way the loom's routed and the way it goes up to the engine ECU, I want to retain that bend in the wire. So I'm trying to keep that bend in the loom as I'm taping it up to repair it. Now this is a fabric tape. Again, this is available from Volkswagen or from most other places. It makes it look like a more standard original repair. And what I try and do with most of my repairs is, the idea is I want to make it look like I've not been there. So if someone was to look at that, it would almost look like a factory repair. And that's it.